It's absolutely starting to make more sense. Yeah, yeah. Originally, I thought, oh, this is kind of funny. It could be a good title, and didn't really believe it. And it came from the British designer Neville Brody, who looked at ray gun and said, you know, that's it. We've taken print as far as we can. It's time to move on to a different medium. You know, this thing represents the end of print. And at the time, I thought, oh, that's a cool name for my book. But I didn't really believe it. And now, after many years, I'm starting to think it really was the beginning of the end of print. It was print's, what I would say, last hurrah, in a way. I always thought, okay, there's been these other designers, and now there's me, and then there'll be the next guy, or the next thing. And for the most part, it really hasn't happened in the same way that it has traditionally. And I think some of that's because of websites and internet and film and all these things came in and took a lot of people, but there hasn't really been the next big, huge movement or thing that there should have been that seemed to come about every 10 years. So I now think that ray gun really did represent, or does represent, the early beginnings of the end of print, and more specifically the really kind of print's, we would say in America, like last hurrah, the last big statement from print was Ray Gun magazine. And and I'm sure that will piss people off too. Oh, what do you mean, blah, blah, blah. But there really hasn't been anything since, and I would have thought there would have been, that has caused anywhere near the same upheaval of hate and love and discussion and articles and angry and just all this stuff that came from that magazine that we're still talking about. There hasn't been anything that has done that same thing since, and I'm beginning to think that there probably won't be. Maybe it'll be on the screen somewhere, but yeah. So and it's hard. It'd be very hard to do a fresh, a magazine now that really blew people away, that was really different. There's a ton of really well-designed magazines right now. They've all been elevated to what I would call like a B level, not an A, but B plus, and there's a ton of them, all subjects, women, cars, sports, they're all well-designed, but almost none that just blow you away, that you can't wait to see what are they going to try next month. Everybody's got the same software, and the designers gotten lazy and they rely on it. And so you have a lot of really well-designed professional magazines, but they're a little bit soulless, a little bit, they don't have the personality of the designer involved as much. And I'm not sure that we'll get that again.